Hello. The cricket's in a very, very freezing cold Mohali. But here we are in the close, very comfortable confines of this fancy Cricbuzz studio. It's the first time we're coming to you with Cricbuzz Live in this year. And we've got two very colourful gentlemen. One who has the most colourful stories, Mr. Bhattacharjya. And the man to his left, his life is a colour story, sir.
If you think I have colourful stories, you clearly haven't spent enough time.
But sir, some of those are off-camera stories, unfortunately.
So, and they're not PG-13.
Correct. But so your life is a colour story then?
No, yeah, my life is colourful because I've got friends like Joyda and you.
Well left, sir. Well left. But I've been told that Mr. Bhattacharjya is very happy to be in warmer Mumbai. He's had a very troubled relationship with the geyser and the temperatures of Gurgaon. Sir, are you all right? Are you happy to be here in Mumbai?
I am delighted to be here in Mumbai. I normally don't say this in summer. But in January in Delhi, when to see the sun, you see the sun as often as you see Aishwarya Rai in Bombay.
Wow.
It's literally like that. You know, one glimpse here, it's gone. So it's that bad. I'm really delighted to be in studio. It's not a better place. And I'm even more delighted that I'm not having to do this match in Mohali.
No such problems for Rohan because he goes to London like I go to Borivali. So he's used to such temperatures, right?
No, I mean, I go to Lonavala also. Lonavala, London.
That's not true. He's got a season pass to London, but we won't go there for now. We'll focus on Mohali. That's where India and Afghanistan are about to start playing first of the three T20 internationals. It's the first time these two teams are playing a bilateral T20 series. Would you believe it? Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli are back in the squad. Virat not playing the first one for personal reasons. But the return of Rohit Sharma as captain, can we look at this as the OG captain being back, Rohan? Or do you still see changes because this is the last series for the Indian team before the big World Cup in June?
I think if Rohit is in the team, he's got to be captain.
Yep.
There's no doubt. He's not going to play as just a member of the squad. If he plays in the side, if he's in the squad, he's captain. There's no doubt about that. With his captaincy record, especially in the T20 version, you look at what he's done in the IPL, 5 titles. That's been well documented. His captaincy experience, his skills, I think he's got to be captain. So for me, that's a no-brainer.
Lots of options in terms of players and personnel to choose from for the coach and the selectors, Joy. But the fact that Virat and Rohit back in the mix, does that guarantee that these two will be going to the World Cup?
To be honest, I feel it doesn't. See, I think I'll tell you where I come from. So my attitude on this is that if players, legends of the quality of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma said, you know what, we are interested in playing this World Cup. Firstly, the moment they're saying it means all bets are off. That means they will play in whatever capacity. Because when I put my hand up, I'm not saying I can't go and tell the Indian team that I'll play only if I'm made captain. This you can do in the IPL, you can't do it you can't do it for international cricket. So I have a feeling both of them really, the one thing that they desire, which Virat tasted very early in his career in 2011, but Rohit never tasted, is basically an ICC trophy. Not a Champions trophy, but an ICC proper trophy. And I think that's what he really desires. So he will do anything. The interesting part of it is how does then India look at it? How does a Rahul Dravid or how does Ajit Agarkar look at it? Because now you're in a situation where you're saying that, okay, these two guys are willing to play. Firstly, if they are willing to play, players of that quality, I have to at least try them out. Whether I play them in June or July, I have to try them out. This is a fantastic series. This is actually the only T20 series before the IPL.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to try them out. Now, the second part of the problem comes that if I have Rohit as captain, he's doing really well as captain. I mean, I have long-term thoughts, that look, Hardik is a person that, India's white ball is going to go behind him. He's going to emerge as that kind of player. But then he's also injury prone. At the same time, you have Rohit who can captain. So they're in an interesting position. I think this position of where they are going with it will only become clear at the end of this series. And perhaps even not then, perhaps I don't want them to decide this during the IPL because I think it's too late. I think whoever's there should be decided.
I've got a question for you, Joy.
Okay.
If India had won the World Cup,
yes,
the 50-over World Cup, do you think Rohit and Virat would have made themselves available for T20? Because like you said, it's the one thing now that, that's obviously, and I get it, I get it. They've had stellar careers, fabulous careers, and now you're thinking, listen, can I get that ICC World Cup trophy?
Very good. In fact, during the South Africa series, Rohit Sharma, I saw a bite of him saying, "Kuch to bada chahiye." So clearly, that one big world title is missing.
And he's done everything else. Look, what is his white ball cricket? What has he not done? And he's won 5 IPL trophies. He's a successful Test captain. He's done everything that he can. And what is left for him to achieve? This is the only thing left. He'll do anything. He'll play under anyone. And Rohit's that kind of guy. You tell me I want to play. But if he's there in the team, there are very few managers and very few people who can make 10 people go along with you the way Rohit can.
I suppose India's had 5 captains apart from Rohit Sharma in T20 cricket. If you can also, in fact, 4 of them since the 2022 World Cup. Hardik Pandya, clearly front line there in that list. Surya Kumar Yadav has done fairly well, if you see the win percentage. Ruturaj Gaikwad went to the Asian Games. Bumrah as well. So, lots of options. The question is, the fans can have a certain view. Twitter is abuzz with people taking positions on whether they want Rohit or Hardik. Of course, Mumbai fans have a slightly different angle to that question as well. You reckon with just 6 months to go, India would be better served with Rohit in charge?
Well, like I said, if Rohit is in the team, then he's got to captain. It doesn't matter if he's captaining in the IPL or not. We know what his captaincy skills are. We know what he's capable of doing as a leader. As Joy said, take 10 guys along. He's there. He's your guy. He'll take 10 guys along and say, listen, this is our collective vision and we've got to try and adhere to it and try and do what we can to win the tournament. There's no, we don't have to worry about that. But in terms of the other captaincies, like Joy said, other captaincy candidates, Hardik, injury prone. What you don't want is, and I think Hardik is a fabulous captain. We've seen that in the IPL. We've seen, even when the way he sort of gets his guys around. What ideally you don't want is, your captain breaking down in the middle of a tournament. That can throw a spanner in the works. But I think Hardik is going to be a future India captain in white ball cricket. I have no doubt about that. Because at some point Rohit will retire. And I think Hardik is next in line, in my opinion.
But, captaincy aside, purely on form as batters, clearly the blazing performance that Virat and Rohit had at the World Cup would have perhaps given them an extended lease in T20 cricket. Of course, champions in their own right, Virat an all-time great as well, Rohit Sharma all-time white ball great for sure. But did that World Cup batting performance tell the selectors that maybe we have a lot more to gain from these two in the side, purely from a batting perspective, not so much leadership maybe?
If you remember the last T20 World Cup, they played there, Virat had one fantastic game, but they also realized that they are not playing cricket. They were playing tentative cricket because they were playing T20 cricket in the old format of saying that we'll hold on to wickets and we'll attack later when the game had moved forward. And when we got caught out very badly by Pakistan. So after that, neither of them played T20 cricket. So they focused on the World Cup. But the way Rohit batted in the World Cup is a revelation. That's not even the way he batted in his ODI career so far. He changed around and said, I will be the risk taker for my team up front. I will set the stamp of the match, the way the game is played. I will take the attack to them. And though he didn't get too many runs, the runs he got were so important because they changed the game the way he attacked them up front. So I think that Rohit I will take him any time of the day. If that Rohit puts up his hand and wants to play for India, I'll take him any time of the day. Virat Kohli, there's no question here. He's one of the greats of the game. There's no question. If Virat Kohli says his fitness is never in question.
Never.
If Virat Kohli wants to play, there's no question at all. He will play. So those two positions you'll lock. And Rohit in this mood, the way he's playing, he will play.
See, the one thing that was guaranteed though was they were never only going to pick one of them. You either pick
both
you either pick both or you don't pick both. But you can't pick one of them. That was guaranteed.
That's the other thing. The other thing is that if they put up their hand and they phoned up Ajit or whoever and said that I'm ready to be selected, it takes a very brave selector to say that I'm not going to pick you. Really. And the truth is, why should you not? Today also, look, I say that this future of the next 5 years and all that, the World Cup is in 6 months. Are Rohit and Virat fit enough for this World Cup in the next 6 months? That's all they think about. That's all you need to think.
Virat not available for today's game. Rohit Sharma is there. A couple of surprises in the Indian playing 11 today. India won the toss and chosen to bowl first. Yashasvi Jaiswal apparently did not pull up well and so he isn't playing. No Kuldeep either. Since India is bowling first, Rohan, we'll look at the bowling first. Also, no Sanju Samson. Jitesh Sharma gets a nod. No Avesh Khan either. We'll look at the bowling. What do you make of this with Mukesh, Arshdeep, the two pacers and the three spinners? Rohan.
Yeah, so I think Washington Sundar and Akshar in a sense, that all-round slot. In case Hardik, we don't know what Hardik's fitness situation is right now. In case he's, God forbid, he's unfit for the World Cup, these are the two who would probably be vying for that all-rounder slot, bowl, bat a little bit. So I think it's a good inclusion. But look, three spinners in this cold weather in Mohali. Obviously, we haven't seen the pitch, so we don't know what the pitch is like.
They obviously know something we don't.
Yeah, they obviously know something. I was just going to say, they obviously know something we don't, because from what we hear, there's a cold wave over there. You're expecting the ball to move around, swing around, seam around, but they've gone with three spinners. So, look, again, I'm just saying, this is just me throwing darts in the dark. They're looking probably at the big picture.
Yeah.
They're saying, okay, listen, let's not worry about the result of the series. Let's work out certain combinations. Let's give certain players an opportunity, because they're looking at the big picture. They're looking at the World Cup. And as we've said, this is the only international series, T20 series before the World Cup.
Yeah.
So they're going to be trying out different combinations. And that's why, again, Jitesh is there ahead of Sanju Samson. I think Jitesh is there ahead of Sanju Samson because we were speaking about this off air, is that he bats at number 5-6.
Yeah.
His if you look at, again, Virat, Rohit, if these guys are going to be playing, he's not going to be batting at number 3. So you want someone your wicket keeper to be batting at number 5-6. Sanju Samson bats at, in the IPL at 1, 2, 3. Again, if you look at strike rates, nearly 160 for Jitesh, you will look, 0, 50, 0, 100, but that's because of the number he bats.
Yeah.
Very tough to get a 50 and 100 when you bat low down.
Yes, these are his IPL numbers. So clearly Sanju Samson, Joy, the more pedigreed player, has played a lot more cricket. But are they saying, let's look at this series as an audition for the T20 World Cup? As he said, let's look at the bigger picture and not worry too much about the result?
Yeah, and I was also thinking that Sanju Samson would have had a much more secure place. Forget the other wicket keepers around. We know Rishabh Pant is there, KL Rahul is there, Ishan Kishan is there. But he would have had a much more secure feel about it had Rohit and Virat not put up their hands.
Yeah.
Because now what's happened is your top order is very crowded.
Yeah.
Who do you fit in? Yashasvi comes in, Shubman comes in. Okay, you have to play somebody like a Surya at 4 or 5. Okay, so then you're talking about 6. You're talking about 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 6, 7 maximum because we start getting the other all-rounders. So it's Jitesh, Rinku. These players become crucial because these are the positions they'll be batting at.
Yeah.
That's not Sanju's position.
Is Rinku's position most vulnerable because once Hardik, Surya come back, KL Rahul possibly in the mix as well, is Rinku someone who's perhaps likely to miss out as well?
Again, Rinku, I think for whatever Rinku's done, he's done fantastically with whatever chances. But given the way this team is sort of lining up, where does you see, once you have, if Surya is batting at 5, if Surya is batting at 4, Rinku still has a chance. If Surya is batting at 5, then between Hardik, Jitesh, they need a finisher. And that plays, then Jitesh will come ahead simply because you can't play a keeper up front unless they picked up Rahul up front to bat out there.
How many slots is India genuinely, realistically looking to fill with the return of the big guns?
Well, look, for me, luckily I am not. But luckily I am not. I'm throwing this out there. Luckily I am not. But if I had to, and it's very easy sitting here and saying, for me, my 3 certainties as far as batting is concerned would have been Yashasvi, Surya Kumar Yadav and Rinku.
Wow.
Top of the order, middle order, and 1 finisher. These would be my 3 certainties. And then you work around the rest. So, look, make what you will of that. But for me, those would be my 3 certainties. But like I said, luckily, I don't have to make that decision.
Yep. I suppose we had a similar sort of phase in the lead up to the ODI World Cup as well, where a lot of selections perhaps didn't make sense to us then, but come the World Cup, they had answers to pretty much every question, and we did have a great World Cup. For now, though, we'll focus on the Afghanistan 11. They will be batting first. It's a team that grew in reputation at the ODI World Cup in India. This is the 11 they're going in with. Remember, no Rashid Khan. Because he's had a lower back surgery. Ibrahim Zadran is the captain. Rahmanullah Gurbaz, one of their star wicketkeeper batter as well. Azmatullah Omarzai was so impressive at the World Cup. The experience of Nabi as well. Noor Ahmed missing out, Joy, because they have a plethora of options. That spin bowling department has so many options.
This is what I don't understand. 2 teams have looked at the same pitch.
Yeah.
they have played one frontline spinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And their frontline spinner is not just a spinner. He opens the bowling, he does everything for them, right? You can't consider him really, Mujib really a spinner.
Yeah.
He does everything for them.
Yeah.
We've played 3 spinners. They're all both picked their matches before knowing the toss for the same game. I do not understand it. So clearly, the only explanation that I can really think of is exactly what he said. That what India is trying to do is less about the results, more about trying to try out combinations before. But the way we've also put our combinations, we also will have a situation where one of our spinners, Washington Sundar, will have to bowl up front.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't bowl in the first 6...
But he does that a lot.
He does that a lot. Give him credit, he does that a lot.
Yeah.
Does he do it in 3 degrees holding a ball in Mohali is a question.
That's a big question.
Good boy, but he's come from down south, deep down
From
south,
Chennai.
Tamil Nadu. TNP, and he must have played nice ball, 32 degrees, 33 degrees temperature he must be playing in. Suddenly it's 5 degrees, he's been given a ball.
Yeah.
Where Rahul Dravid, already you can see him. I was feeling bad for Rahul Dravid at press conference with all the, with the monkey cap on.
I'll tell you a winter cricket story if I may quickly.
Yeah.
We had gone to the Star Cricket Club tour under 19 with Kailash Gatani used to take it. Freezing cold in somewhere in the UK. One of our lower order batters, we were all wearing 3 jumpers, so you couldn't really see, which way your thigh pad was. One of our lower order batters, Javed Alam, batting at number 10, went out to bat, took his guard, leg stump, middle stump, off stump. And he waited near leg stump, waited for everyone to set the field, 3 slips, 2 gullies, extra cover.
Everything set.
As soon as the field was set, he went to straight off stump because he was actually a right-hander. And then everyone just fell down laughing. Because normally you see the thigh pad and say, okay, left-hander, right-hander, who's coming in? But because you had worn 3 jumpers, you couldn't see the thigh pad, you couldn't pick up whether you were left-handed, right-handed. It was such a funny moment though.
And I saw a clip of Akshar Patel saying, "Kya temperature kya hai?" Someone said 12 degrees. And 12 nahi, 6 lag raha. It must be bloody cold to play cricket.
That's the London in you coming out. The Londoner in you. Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear.
We've got to talk more about Afghanistan. Clearly a team that grew in reputation at the World Cup. I'm a bit surprised that this is the first time India-Afghanistan are playing a bilateral. Surely a lot more to come, especially in the post-World Cup era.
Oh, for sure, because Afghanistan is just such an exciting team. Yeah. I mean, you look at that playing 11, the amount of all-rounders they've got, amount of quality all-rounders they've got, especially in white ball cricket. Who you look at someone like Kareem Jannat, bowls, bats really well. Mohammad Nabi, I've said this before. You float like a butterfly, sting like Nabi.
Nice.
But Omar Zai, and then you look at someone like Farooq. I remember he's again a very intelligent bowler. Left arm pace comes in, he's got the ability to move the ball. He can outthink the batter. He's looking at, what he's doing, set up a batter nicely. So this is this team, chock full of talent. All it needs is more experience playing with the big boys.
Yeah. Well, Ibrahim Zadran was quoted as saying that, cricket is what brings this country happiness. Joy, you've worked with a lot of players from different countries. Rohan's been doing commentary across the world with T10 leagues and so on. Now, this is what the Afghanistan captain said. He said, cricket's the only thing in the country which is giving happiness to the people of Afghanistan. We all in the team are trying to play good cricket and give happiness to those people. Is such an important element of the lives of these Afghanis, whereas we in India may have many other happier distractions. But just what the team does means so much to people from that country.
Yeah, I remember. I think one of the photographs of the year was about 4 or 5 years back, where Afghanistan was playing, I think, a T20 World Cup at that point in time. And somewhere in the hills, they were sitting out there and there was a fire. And there was this one small screen in which they were seeing, and they were right. I mean, this is the one game that brings them some amount of, the kind of strife the country is in. It's also a very brave statement to make. If you think about it, to the captain saying, this is the only thing giving happiness to the country, it's a brave, big statement to make. Though it's true, I feel it's completely true. If you speak to Rashid, you speak to the players from Afghanistan, they are literally the one thing that's holding them afloat. It's one source of happiness and joy in a very, very tough atmosphere.
Look, if I may, you have your favorite team, wherever you're listening. Obviously, in cricket, it's India. That goes without saying. And then you have your second favorite team. For the longest time, my second favorite team was Sri Lanka.
Okay.
But they've been displaced by Afghanistan. Because I just think, like he said, the amount of joy they bring, and they're always playing with, there's something about them. They're just special cricketers. So I love watching them play.
You've, I'm sure, interacted with a lot of these young Afghanis.
I haven't, to be honest. I haven't.
You would have seen them from close quarters at the T10
Yeah.
that you and I together
T10,
worked
T20s,
on.
yeah.
But they come across as such gentle, genteel guys off the field. And
Yeah.
once they're on the field, they're very competitive without being brash, aren't they?
But that's what you want. You want competitive cricketers. That also tells you, what it tells me is the amount of self-confidence you have.
Yeah.
You can only be that slightly, aggressive, slightly in your face if you've got self-confidence. Because listen, you're coming from, when you're from Afghanistan, you haven't got the experience of, say, players from India or Australia or England, that history, that culture of the cricketing culture, history that you've had for so many years. So to have that confidence and be in your face and say, listen, we're not going to take a backward step, tells you about the self-confidence that these players have.
Also, the number of players coming through the ranks is happily mind-boggling as well. Remember, no Rashid Khan, but Afghani fans wouldn't be too worried because they've got this resource of spin bowlers, Joy. There's young Qais Ahmed as well, who's not in the 11, but is tipped to be the next spin bowling star. These are his numbers. Look at that smile as well.
23-year-old plays in leagues around the world. Is absolutely fantastic. And the only reason he's not getting a chance is because there's so many quality bowlers, Noor Ahmed, Rashid ahead of him. I was just thinking about one thing. There's an old story that in the 19th century, when the British prime ministers, one prime minister took over from the other, he used to have one note saying, things you need to do, okay, and things you need to be careful of. And one of the notes used to be always, do not invade Afghanistan. Because it has gone badly for everyone, okay. The British, it went badly for the Russian, the Soviet Empire crashed in Afghanistan. The Americans tried it. It doesn't work. So they're a very proud people. I mean, you push them. That's what I'm saying. They're a gentle folk in one way, but you push them. You want to, show them who's boss. They come. They fight like tigers. And I think that's the thing, that this entire team, the kind of players you see also, Nabi, Omarzai, if you see this team, there's a lot of batting all-rounders, big guys who can whack the ball hard and all that. And in this kind of pitch, if it is as cold as it is, it could just turn out to be very good for them.
And just to add to what Joy was saying, I mean, that's another reason when you've gone through what their country has gone through, picking up a fight on the cricket field seems child's play. Yeah. Having that confidence on the what is that? It's nothing.
Yeah. Just as well that someone like a Jonathan Trott is in charge. We saw that whiteboard come out at the World Cup, and there seems to be a certain method that's being added to the natural madness or the flair of the Afghanistan players. Would perhaps help to have Jonathan Trott have a much longer run with this Afghanistan side, because this combination, this really interesting contrast, seems to be working really well for this team.
Yeah, of course. Look, you find a coach that suits your team and gets the best out of you. I don't know what Jonathan Trott's coaching credentials are, other than the fact that he made Afghanistan a really good side in the World Cup. And you're going by that. Proof of the pudding is eating. You see what he's done with them in the World Cup. You think, why not give him a longer run?
Yeah.
Whether he's a man manager, whether he's technically a sound coach, doesn't matter, because he's getting the best out of the players. So look, whatever his strengths are, whatever he's doing something right there.
Yep.
And when you've got someone doing something right, you say, okay, listen, you know what? Let's work. This is a great partnership. We're working well together. We're gelling, together. Let's not mess about. Here's a little longer run.
Yes, some of these Afghanistan players will be in action at the IPL as well, and the IPL is always a part of cricket conversations, especially in the lead-up to the T20 World Cup. And we've got a question with hashtag #AskCricbuzz Let's take a look at what it is. It's from one of our regular viewers. Arun Singh wants to know from Rohan Gavaskar and Joy Bhattacharjya, how much impact should or will these three T20Is have on choosing the squad for the T20 World Cup, or do you think it'll all boil down to their performances in the IPL?
Again, as we were discussing, barring injury, about 10 or 11 slots are filled out there.
Yeah.
Those 10 or 11 who's going to come in there. Those 3, 4, 5 slots that are remaining, that's perhaps why they're trying out these players. You're seeing Aksar getting a run out here. You'll see Avesh getting a run over the next few days. All these players, Mukesh getting a chance, because we know Bumrah, Siraj, they're all waiting. There's Bumrah, there's Siraj, hopefully Shami will get fit. So all these are waiting. So this is really for us a tryout period.
Yeah.
And if you don't do well here, then you will have to do a lot of work to make up in the IPL and all that. Because see, also what's going to happen is the conversations about who's going to go, not going to go. Dravid is going to start having conversations early. He's not going to wait till the end of the IPL because it's way too late.
Yeah.
They're going to start having conversations within the first 2 weeks of the IPL. They'll say, okay, these are the guys we want to talk to. They'll go, they'll speak to them, they'll see where they are mentally. They'll get their physios to start working with the team physios because they need to make these decisions early.
Yeah.
You cannot announce a team 6 days before for a World Cup tournament and expect a team to land up and do well.
I suppose mid-May is when they'll announce the squad.
Yeah.
Would you look at recent form purely IPL? What if one of the short picks has a horrible IPL? What do you do then?
You've taken the words out of my mouth. The short picks you won't worry about.
Even if they have a bad IPL?
Like Joy said, 10, 11 slots are fixed. Is the remaining 3, 4 where you think there might be a little bit of debate, little bit of 19, 20 going on? Is it X? Is it Y? You look at form for those guys. But 10, 11, you're clear in your head as to, okay, these are the guys, these are, sure shots. You don't worry so much about form. It's the remaining 4, 5 that you'd think, okay, listen, this one's in better form, this one's doing well, we'll go with X rather than Y. But other than that, I don't think, because look, again, you look at some of the sure shots. They've got the quality. We've seen what they've done in the past. We know you're not worried about, can these guys play international cricket?
Yeah.
You're not worried about them. Can they handle themselves at the international stage? Yeah. Because they've done in the past, they've shown they can.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about that. Okay, bad form, maybe, after the IPL, get in the nets. If you're a batter, just hit some balls for a long time. If you're a bowler, hit the right areas in the nets and get back into form. Yeah. But form would basically matter only for those 4, 5 slots.
Also, I mean, given that they prefer to wait until the very end for someone like a KL Rahul and a Shreyas Iyer for the ODI World Cup, perhaps tells you that if they believe in a certain player, they will back him.
Yeah. And that's what. They had the conversation with Shreyas and KL Rahul much earlier. In May, June of the year, they said that, you guys are in our plans. This is what we want to do. What's your fitness like? We are working with NCA. Kamlesh Jain is, monitoring them throughout. They're working out where they are with their fitness, how they're going. With somebody like a Rishabh Pant, who's like a national asset, they'll be doing the same. And these long-term plans are in place. So fans think that, Ajit will wake up one morning and look at the scoreboard and say that, these guys are doing well, let's pick them. It doesn't work these ways. These are professionals. They get paid a lot of money, but they have a lot of responsibility in that position because there's a lot of thought that goes into this.
And let me just tell you also, these selectors, they don't get the credit this thing. While this international series is on, there'll be a lot of selectors watching domestic cricket.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the international cricket. They'll be going all over watching domestic cricket. And they'll keep changing. Ajit will be watching this game, then he'll go to watch domestic cricket, then someone else will be watching the Indian team, someone else will be going here. So it's not that they, we sometimes like Joy saying, no, they do a lot of hard work.
Yeah, selection is perhaps a far more complex activity than it seems. And the Indian team is not made on Twitter. So you can go on and trend whatever hashtag you want.
I think this is a statement that should say the Indian team is not made.
Not made on Twitter. Someone else who's been growing in reputation, he made his debut in the 3 formats in a span of 14 days. Mukesh Kumar will have the new ball in his hands. Remember, just the 2 pace bowlers for India. Industrious Mukesh is the word being used. Rohan, what do you make of his skill set and does he give you the impression that ye lambi rees ka ghoda hai?
Well, look, his skill set, obviously his asset is the fact that he's very accurate. He hits the right areas more often than not. He gets the ball to move around, jag around. He's, again, someone who obviously has a lot of belief in his own abilities. Yeah. Like you said, making your debut in all 3 formats within 14 days, within 2 weeks. Boom, Test, ODIs, T20 for India. And again, he's someone who the selectors and the team management have a lot of faith in. And I think that helps. I think for a young player, when you go into that international team, that international, your national side, whether it's India, Australia, whatever, when you have the faith of your teammates and you feel that you belong, in that dressing room, you feel that you belong, that this is it, I feel like this is it, yeah. It's half the battle won. Because look, you're not playing international cricket unless you've got ability.
Yeah.
Once you've got that ability, it's how you feel. Then it's a little bit of a mental game.
Yep.
Whether you feel confident enough, whether you feel you belong at this level, whether you feel, okay, listen, you know what? Virat Kohli's come and told me I'm the best bowler that he's batted against. Suddenly you're feeling 10 feet tall.
Exactly.
And you think, okay, if the best batter in the world saying I'm the best, I'm going to go out there and do my job. So it's how you belong at, how you feel, over there as a youngster.
Yes, there's also this fascinating story about Mukesh Kumar, which we'll get Joy to share with you in the mid-innings show. For now, though, Joy, time for the first Joy Factor of the year. So, what do you have for us?
I have an interesting one.
Okay.
It at least reads well. It's a fun question. Here goes. Which cricketer who's yet to make his international debut played his first domestic T20 under the captaincy of Harbhajan Singh and his most recent T20 under the captaincy of Nathan Ellis?
Wow.
Yes, I think.
I think Rohan has it.
I think Rohan has it.
I don't have the name, but I know who he's talking about. If I may give a clue, he just recently played in the Big Bash. Has he?
My lips are sealed.
I mean, I read about this somewhere. I forgot the name, but it'll come to me. I don't have the name right now. It'll come to me in a little while.
It's there somewhere, possibly someone of Indian origin.
My lips are sealed.
I think I've just given out the biggest clue possible. So find out the answer and send in your entries, and we'll get Joy to give you a thumbs up. Nothing else, just a thumbs up at the end of our coverage. That joke has died, sir. No more.
Why not a Fanta?
He wants all sorts of things. He wanted me to give a flying kiss.
No, but why not a Fanta?
So no thumbs up, only Fanta. Okay.
That joke.
We are done. We are done for now. Send in your entries. Watch out for Rahmanullah Gurbaz as well. Now, he's someone who wants to do very well against the bigger teams. He's got a not so great record against big teams, so this is his chance as well before he say goodbye. Quick prediction, gentlemen. Afghanistan, 20 over score.
158.
The Indian spinners can grip the ball. 160.
No due.
169. If they can't grip the ball, it will go to 200. But 169. I'll stay at 169.
142. The answer to all questions, right?
42 is the answer.
42 is the answer.
Let's take it. 142.
142 is not the answer. 42 is the answer.
I'll go with 142. I'm bullish on young Indian pacer Mukesh Kumar and Arshdeep as well. So that is our prediction. You can send in yours as well wherever you're watching this show, and we'll see you at the 10 over mark on Cricbuzz Combox. Bye for now.